Hi, good evening, everyone. Let us just wait for a couple of minutes before we start with today's live. Can anyone confirm if I am properly audible without the earphone? Else I have to plug in one. Good evening, Shrestha. Could you please confirm if I am audible without the earphone or I will be using one? Okay, fantastic. So I will not be using an earphone because I think I'm pretty much audible. And today's topic, as we know, I could not write the title because of some technical error was happening. So today's topic is emotional unavailability, a burning topic nowadays because most of the people complain that their partners are emotionally unavailable or they are emotionally unavailable to certain needs of certain people. So we'll talk more about that today, and we are going to keep it extremely open to or extremely conversational because we need to understand that why certain people are emotionally unavailable and what can be done in this case, how you identify somebody is emotionally unavailable. Are you emotionally unavailable or you're just expecting too much from that person? So all of this, we are going to talk more about this. So without wasting any further time, I'm going to start with the very basic understanding. Like, what do you guys understand with the term emotional unavailability? What do you mean by this term, emotional unavailability? According to you, what does it mean? It's okay if it's right or wrong, it doesn't matter. But what, according to you, means emotional unavailability? Any responses, anything? Anybody who is watching me live can respond to this. Just wait for another 30 seconds to get a response from the participants. So, what does emotional unavailability mean to you? Because we have been using this term quite loosely. Many people say that my partner is emotionally unavailable, my parents are emotionally unavailable. So, what does it mean to you? If anyone would like to respond. Anyone? In case there is no response, I'll go ahead with the description further. So, emotional unavailability, as the name suggests, somebody is not available to respond to your emotional cues. They are not available to respond to your emotional needs. So that person is completely, oblivious to the cues that you are giving, or maybe you are reacting, you are speaking, you are using certain terms to catch the attention of the person, but the person is happily ignoring them and it's not catching their attention. So emotional unavailability basically means when a person, on the other hand, it can be anybody, they are not responding to the emotional cues or the emotional needs of the other person. Now the next question that comes, is emotional unavailability common? The answer is yes. It is perhaps one of the most common thing. Everybody, in fact every human being on this planet, they can become emotionally unavailable from time to time. It's not that they will become, but they can become emotionally unavailable from time to time. For example, if if being emotionally unavailable means that I am just cutting myself from the crowd, from people around me, so that I can find myself back again. Because in your life, when we are going ahead, when we are going through a huge lot of things are happening in our life, it becomes too overwhelming for us to be available to everybody at that time, because we need some alone time to process and to understand and introspect our own upheavals or anything that is going within us. So, keeping that in mind, people can become emotionally unavailable at certain points in their life, depending upon the different situations that they are going through. Now, that is absolutely normal. The problem starts happening when there are certain people, they're just not able to respond, understand, or process the emotional needs of another person. Now, that can be because of two or three reasons. Reason A, maybe the person has grown up in a way of very self-sufficient, very independent. They did not get a support from anybody, so now they feel that if I can grow and I can deal with my issues alone, why can't others? So if somebody is asking for some emotional support, they just feel they don't know how to give it because they didn't receive it in their life. So this is one segment of a person where people are like, absolutely, they try to they try to judge others with respect to the kind of life they have been or they have gone through. So this is one group. The second group is, well, you want attention from your partner or from somebody, but the way the other person is communicating to the your partner or someone else, that is not appropriate. Maybe let's say you really want to talk to someone and you're looking for their looking for their attention and emotional support, but when you're communicating, you're shouting at the top of the voice. So what happens is, let's say I am emotionally available, but somebody is constantly shouting at me, snapping at me. It sometimes becomes very difficult for the other person to understand the underlying message and still go ahead and help the person. So keeping that in mind, my communication style, my the way I put forward my needs, my requirement is also very important. Maybe the person, maybe you need that person's support, but at that time the other person is also going through a lot. And there are a different clan of people. When they go through a lot, they like to go back to their den. They don't like to talk to anybody at that point of time, because that is exactly how they have been handling their problems. Now, we cannot ask people to change the way they are functioning overall, but we can definitely try and communicate with them as much as possible, just to let them know, let the other person know that right now I'm going through a lot, so I will come back when I'm fine. It does not mean that I'm emotionally unavailable, it just means I need some time of my own. These are the two broad categories of people. So one, who have been born and brought up in a way that they have been extremely self-sufficient and they don't find why somebody should need an emotional support, because if I can do it alone, so but other people can do it alone too. And they become extremely aggressive, they become, or sometimes they can become defensive, and sometimes they will just said, oh, that's not even a problem, why are you becoming a crybaby? Because that is exactly what they heard when they were like us, looking for emotional support. Then there is a third group of people apart from this. This third group of people are actually our source of concern. Now, what is this third group of people? These people, how they have brought, the environment in which they have born and brought up. It is like they have the kind of support, the kind of family in which they have born and brought up and everything, their emotions have been ridiculed. They have had a traumatic past. They probably did not have a very caring parents. They also, maybe from the very first of their life, it has been very a struggling life for them. So some people become very sensitive and they understand that, yes, I know that how it feels because I've gone through it. Well, the other group of people, they become very mechanical. They become so mechanical that they really don't. They start ignoring those finer aspects of life, because if they start uh, kind of concentrating on them, it reminds them a lot of things. So basically, they repress their own vacuum, the pointers, the various vacuum, and they become like that to their partner also. I'll give an example over here. This is an example that I remember from my latest session with one of my patients. So she's married to this person for almost 2 years, and she has been always complaining that this person is emotionally unavailable. So, what makes you think that a person is emotionally unavailable? The person is constantly snapping. When she says that she wants to share something, he's not there. When the person is when she's trying to say that we could have done it in a different way, takes it defensively. If the person starts feeling that she's blaming him. Now I have been hearing this for a lot of time, that my partner is emotionally unavailable. And after a few sessions, I started asking the person, how had been the childhood of your husband? Now, when I start asking this, I get to know that the mother was very fond of the first child, which was a daughter, and he was always neglected. So he always had to do extra things to earn the love of the mother, and still he felt that he fell short of that. Now, this continued over a long period of time, and then he was told that the best way to prove your love for anybody is what kind of lifestyle you give to others. So, the foundational years for this person was extremely incorrect, where materialistic pleasures were given more important than the emotional need and support and the care. Now, when this person turned into a partner, this person has already thought that this is the right way of running a family. So now this person is constantly running behind materialistic pleasure, constantly earning everything they are doing, but definitely not support. They are doing, he is taking his wife out, but when the wife is trying to say something, he's not available, he's making fun of it. Exactly how he was treated in the childhood. Hi, Shubhashmita. So, this is exactly what happens, our foundational years, the years how our emotions have been handled, have a huge impact whether we become emotionally unavailable or available to others. At times, everyone is becomes emotionally unavailable when we are struggling with our own emotions, and it's a good thing to do. You need to find yourself first before you can go ahead and help others, which is absolutely fine. There is no problem in that. But if someone is constantly, they are looking for support, but when they ask you for support, they will ask it in a way that it doesn't look like support. And whenever you need them, they find you extremely cribbing person, constantly snappy. They find you that you are always complaining, this, that. It's just because they have just become like that one. When they were young, they have been told that, let's say, the famous statements, men don't cry, your own work is only to earn, you have to give a proper lifestyle, the stereotypical thoughts. And that way, the emotions were just lost somewhere. Even not only for men, for women also, I have seen them emotionally unavailable, because this woman that I have, another person that I'm talking about, this person had been available for everyone, but nobody was available for them. So slowly and steadily she become like one, that I will only handle my own emotions and my own issues and for no one else. And now people are complaining. Now she has become a completely different personality. So the situations, our foundational years, what I think is the priority of my life. So we do a value testing between partners. So let's say you as a partner, your value, the first 10 values, the first one is honesty, and the last one is maybe money, good lifestyle. But for your partner, the first one is money and the last one is honesty. So what happens is, because the priority list is different between two people, it becomes extremely difficult for these two people to stay together, because you will always feel that we are not compatible. But it is not about compatibility. It is just about that your values, our priorities are very different from each other. So if you are stuck with someone, or if you have somebody in your life who is emotionally unavailable, there are chances that their past, their childhood has a huge impact on that. So instead of, first, when you start understanding, like, if you just are a little conscious about how they behave the moment you're asking for commitment, how people behave the moment you're asking for some support. Do they try to avoid the conversation? Do they like deep conversations, or they don't want to get too much into this deeper conversations, and they just want to be, whatever you need, what you need, I'll give it to that, and let us do all of that. very flimsy, and they just don't want to get into so much of deep troubles, chances are that these people will turn out to be emotionally unavailable. And there are high chances that it is because of the childhood, because of the reasons, because of the choices they have made, because of the issues they have faced. So if you feel that you have somebody like that in your life, you have to be, first of all, very patient. If you really want to be with this person, you have to be very patient. Second thing is, this people has just become like a coconut, and if you have to break the coconut, you need the right blows, otherwise it will not break. So if you have to break them, you have to win their trust, you have to let them know it's okay to be vulnerable, it's okay to cry, it's okay to be to share what you need. It's okay if you need any assistance, because they have been told these things are not okay. And it will take a lot of time for this person, because every time they want to become vulnerable, it will remind them of all the past ridicule and the insults they have gone through. So it will take you a lot of effort to be with this emotionally unavailable person. So you have two options. If you think they are emotionally unavailable because they are only invested in themselves, you might feel they are selfish, but it more than being selfish, it is just the way these people have been born and brought up, and the way they have faced the issue, the way they have handled the issues. And if these people are very old enough, it's very difficult to change them. So either you have to find out different support networks who can fill up your emotional vacuum, because if this person is absolutely not capable of handling or fulfilling your emotional needs, then you still want to be with this kind of person, then you need to find out different support networks in your life, where you can get a lot of support from different groups. As if you have watched the movie Dear Zindagi, you have seen that Shahrukh says a very important thing over there, that one person cannot fulfill everything. Somebody is good for coffee, some people you can go for a movie, some people you can go to a fair, some people are good to go for a dinner. Everybody will not fit into every role. So if you think that you have these vacuum, and you want this to cherish the relationship, and you want to be with this person too, then you have to start expanding your horizon, you start expanding your support networks, and simultaneously start understanding this person a little bit more. I know it's going to be very difficult, because every time you try to understand, they are going to be very snappy, and at times you will find, forget it, why should I even be bothered? Well, you should be bothered, because if you are in a family together, the environment that you are going to provide to your child is also going to decide whether they will grow up as being emotionally unavailable or available. So consider these factors next time when you meet someone who is emotionally unavailable. They are not being selfish, it is just that they have started programming themselves in a way because of the situations they have been in. Some people can break those situations, can understand that what their parents have done was incorrect, so they should become a different one. But then there are a lot of other people who become like that. So there is this famous proverb, if you look at the abyss for a longer period of time, you can become the abyss yourself. So you can become the darkness yourself. So if you have the patience to enlighten these souls, that will be the best thing. But it will take a lot of effort, when especially when you are struggling, when you yourself are struggling and stuck with an emotionally unavailable person, it's going to be very, very difficult. So at that time, it's important that this person will take time to open up, till it will take time to make this person emotionally available. It's going to be a very, very difficult task. So at this point of time, it's very important that you start broadening your horizons, your support networks, and start mixing up with different other people, as friends, as colleagues, different mental support network, where you can talk. Because once you don't feel overwhelmed, then only you can work and try to understand why this person is emotionally unavailable, why this person is so mechanical. So this is what I wanted to really highlight, that it's easy to use terminologies like that person is emotionally unavailable, that person is selfish, the person can only think about themselves, they are mechanical, they are so materialistic. Yeah, we can use these labels, but there is a huge reason why the person is like this. And the biggest reason is the childhood that the person has got, or maybe the ways, the issues, the different events, significant events the person has faced in their life. So if possible, make that person, if the person seeks help finally at certain point of their time, please seek and please go for the professional help. Let that person open up, let that person finally stop repressing and say everything and understand that being vulnerable is not bad. Otherwise, if you want to play the role for that person, you have to be very patient, and for that, your support system, your mental condition has to be very strong. And because of which, you need to broaden your horizon, and that will help you as well as this relationship too. So that's pretty much about emotional unavailability. We have a beautiful live coming up this weekend, and this is the last month of the year. So we have a live on meditation. So we want you, this entire year, we have faced so many situations, so many issues, and there are a lot of things which we are holding in our heart. So it's very important that we start the new year with a fresh and clean slate, so that the next 365 days can bring up 365 different opportunities for us. So we are going to start with I Forgive meditation this weekend. Please keep a look in our social media pages and sign up for that meditation. And I'm sure that your new year is going to be very, very different than the previous ones. So take care, everyone. Thank you for watching this live. Feel free to share if you think it's going to help someone become emotionally available. Thank you so much.